Okay, we're getting down to figuring this out. June 23rd, 2025, 8:03 p.m. I'm going to show you a couple things really fast. This is... What the heck?
Zorro.com knows that every job is important.
This is just a thing, a video about 7 years ago.
Waste, noxious fumes, and damaging vibrations. That's what people living near a scrap facility in Freetown say that the plant there puts out into their neighborhood.
Well, tonight those neighbors say they can shut this plant down. WBZ's Bill Shields has the details.
Erica Ferrara doesn't know exactly what this dusty stuff is.
And that's exactly the dust that we're seeing here. This is the dust that they have to power spray off of the cars at this used car sales place right next door to me.
I don't know what it is, but this wasn't there before Excel.
And Ellen Lima says this stuff blows into her yard.
I need to get these samples also.
Is that Excel Recycling is built on top of Assanet's aquifer.
And the toxic materials that are being shredded and left outside with the rainwater coming through. I am so concerned about that. I'm a nurse over 40 years.
About 2 years ago, Excel Recycling got state permission to build this plant at this industrial park. And the owners say they put in place every mitigating technology they were asked to.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Very, very extensive. The engineering that went into
And they might be doing everything in their power to do it, but it still might not be enough.
We know we built a good state-of-the-art plant.
But some residents fear the plant is polluting the air and water without any concern for the neighbors.
The biggest thing is the health issue. We don't know what is coming out of this, and from my research, it's not good.
Even though the state has given Excel most of its permits, this selectmen's meeting tonight potentially could shut them down. And Assanet.
And then I just wanted to show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like across the street. I'm going to have to go and do some more videos and show you. They have a big grinder, and they have stacks and stacks of hundreds and hundreds of cars on top of each other. And it looks like, to me, at least 2 stories tall. It might only be 1 story tall, but to me it could even be 2 or 3 stories tall. Let me show you one more thing. This is where all the noise is coming from. They're smashing these cars down, and then they're using cranes to move all this stuff. Oh, sorry, let me go back just a second. When they're crushing these cars and stuff, all this hydraulic fluid, oils, all that's seeping into the air also. So there's... I didn't mean to make it that loud. The other video was not loud. But all that toxic chemicals and toxic fumes, toxic heavy metals, and then they're crushing this into a fine powder, and it's getting released into the wind and all through these neighborhoods. They have a grinder just like this with a conveyor belt where all the stuff goes up. So they're doing this constantly, where they're just crushing, grinding these cars into dust. And it is not, I don't care, even if they put all the precautions that they're legally supposed to do, this cannot be healthy. It's just gotta be toxic to everybody. Now, it just shows here all this other, just all this metal all over the place. They're constantly picking up this metal with cranes and moving it everywhere. Just that alone is probably putting toxic fumes into the air. So again, it's weird because they show the they show the thumbnail of this picture, but they don't show it in the video itself. But that's what's going on. So that's what I know is going on. I don't think I need any more proof of anything. That's what's going on. And, you know, it might not be affecting other people the way it does me because I have weak immune system and asthma and COPD. And that's why it's affecting me more than anybody. But there might be other people out there that just don't know why their health suddenly turned bad. And, you know, they're just thinking it's their health and not, you know, actually this company over here. So whatever has to happen, I know. Well, you know, if they could say, and they might be doing everything legally in their power to do everything to mitigate the dust from flying around. But, you know, again, it doesn't matter. Whatever they're doing is not enough. And they can legally say that and do everything legally that they're supposed to. But if it's still, you know, all that dust is coming, they're not doing enough, whether it's legal or not. The Bolt Motors next door, they have dust. I'm going to tell them to collect the dust because they have to keep power washing their cars all the time. I get dust all over my cars. I've showed you it in videos before, but I haven't collected the dust from it. I'm going to have to do that again. We're supposed to be getting possible rain all week on and off, so I don't know how that's going to work. Lately, I haven't really seen the dust flying over here in this direction. The wind's blowing in this direction all the time, but I don't know if I can collect any dust. I got to get the dust from my roommate's windowsill. He says it's like a 3-inch layer of dust up there. That might be the dust, and we can have that dust taken to a lab sample and have it tested, and then they can find out what's all in that dust and if it's hazardous to health. Obviously, I can tell you it is. So there's where we're at. I just got to pray that I can get out of here before I die. Because I know that if I stay here, this will kill me. I know that. So I got to get out of here. There's no doubt about it. Unless they shut them down, which I don't expect that to happen. You know, I'm sure they have, you know, they'll say, oh, we're doing everything in our power to mitigate the dust. But even if they are, it's still affecting me at least. And it's probably affecting, well, I know it's affecting other people. I've talked to other people. I've talked to a manager at Burger King. She says every morning she comes in, she can't breathe. And then, you know, the Bolt Motors, they said it's unbearable when the wind's blowing their direction. They can't breathe either. It irritates them. And Oak Street Health says, well, that they have another business, Rich Metals, right behind them, and it smells like burning, grinding metal, and they says it's overwhelming at times. So I don't know. They're not as big of a company as Alter is, but you know, I don't want to have to shut anybody down. But you know, I just want, you know, to be able to live. I want to be able to breathe, and that should trump their stupid business over there. They could do something where they're not doing so much, because they're grinding cars. Thanks for watching. God bless.